more, it's the last Monday meetup time before Christmas. And so I haven't got any Christmas things on. I decided not to do it today, and I'll tell you why. Debs and I went shopping today, and the shops are packed, and everybody is looking at each other as though it's the end of the world. There are people wearing all of these Christmas jumpers, and they look so miserable. What is going on? If you're going to wear a Christmas jumper, you have to put a smile on your face. Have you worn a Christmas jumper yet? If you're in the chat room, let me know. And if you're watching us on the replay, down there, put down there. Have you been wearing a Christmas jumper? Are you enjoying those moments? Because that's what it's all about. It's the last one before Christmas. So let's just have a look and see what we're up to. Let's do some housekeeping, shall we? First up, we've got the newsletter. That went out this morning, last one of the month. I did say that I would be putting in the newsletter Deb's singing the frog song. However, unfortunately, as I've told you before, we have had problems editing. And so I haven't been able to do it. And the reason I haven't been able to do it is because for the first 3.5 minutes of this 4-minute film, Debs does nothing but swear at me and call me all sorts of names. And so until we get to that stage where we can edit it, I'm not going to be able to do it. So it's going to be something for the new year, I think. Anyway, hello, Tammy. How are you? You've got a Snoopy one, have you? Jonathan Brewer, how are you? Chris, good to see you. It's the last one before Christmas. Yeah, newsletter's gone out. It's not got so much in it this week, obviously, because I haven't been able to do a middle video because I can't edit. So it's just all down to a live stream at the minute, and it probably will be till at least the new year. Get that out of the way, and then we'll perhaps get back to normal with a bit of luck. So, Christmas edition. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, let me tell you. I've been thinking about Christmas this week. Oh, before I do that, I said to you in the post yesterday that today is an anniversary. And it's an important anniversary for me because 9 years ago today, I had my kidney took out. You know, the one with the big squat or the big lump that was on the side of it. That was 9 years ago today. And wow, time flies. And so I've been thinking about that today. I was amazed. It was something that was supposed to take about 3 months to get back to normal after. It took about 18 months. And it was the first sign that age has come to me because everything started being slower from that day to this. Hi, Deb. How are you? OJ's gone to get that car, has he? Well, I hope she doesn't smash this one up. No, I hope it's all right and it suits her well. So, hello, where are you from? Where is everybody from? I know that we've got a few, one in America, we've got one in Canada, a couple in the UK at the moment. There are people who are watching this who aren't in the chat room, I do know. And my suggestion is you get yourself over there and say hello to the people in the chat room because they're a friendly bunch, you know. So, yeah, Christmas. I've been thinking about it today. We had the weirdest Christmases, you know. We had the weirdest Christmases when I was a kid. Hi, Steve. How are you? My mum was a Christmas fanatic. I can remember when we were little. The first time, you know how kids struggle getting to sleep because they know Father Christmas is coming. Well, we did all of that, but we didn't get much sleep because Mum would come in she would come into the bedroom, and it was like, you know, have you ever seen them war films where they put the spotlight on you and they say, we have ways of making you talk? Well, my mum would have a spotlight on us at about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning and a cine film thing in her hand. And she would film us and make us get up, even if you was tired. My mum was all ready for Christmas. She loved it. And I can't think of this time of year without thinking of my mum. She used to be the one that, when it got to Christmas Eve, she would be so excited. She'd wait for all the kids to go to bed. And then she'd go under the Christmas tree, get all of their toys out that had been bought for them, unwrap them all, get them out, play with them all, see what they were, even though she'd bought them, so she knew. And then she'd wrap them back up, put them back under the tree. And she would get, and this would take a couple of hours. She would do this every single year. She would play with all the Christmas toys and that. She absolutely loved Christmas, my mum did. And it's the good Christmases that I remember, was the ones when she was still here. I was unfortunate in later life when I had my kids, because we lost our business and we lost pretty much everything. And so I can remember quite a few Christmases where we couldn't buy our kids anything new. We had to go car booting and buying the best that we could find from a car boot, because that was the only money we had, something cheap in that. And so it kind of knocked me off my track from all of those great Christmases I had as a kid, and feeling really guilty when my kids were little, because I couldn't do for them what my mum used to do for us. And so Christmas has always been a funny kind of time for me. But it's getting better, you know. This year's going to be good. And I'll tell you why. We're not having a normal Christmas this year. We are doing Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. And the reason for that is, what generally happens Christmas Day is that we get up and we all settle in to the telly and that. And then Debs gets up and she goes in the kitchen, and she'll be in the kitchen all day, and she comes back, and then she'll be there for about 20 minutes, and she'll go back in the kitchen and come back out and go back in the kitchen and come back out and go back in the kitchen and come back out. And she's like that all day, and she never gets any rest. So what I said was, no, I didn't say I'll be cooking the dinner. That'll never happen. I'm a really awful cook. But what we decided was that if we had Christmas Eve as the day for the big meal. Hi, Dazzle, how are you? I haven't seen you since you come back. Where did you go? It was Austria, wasn't it? So, yeah, Debs is going to do dinner on that day. And then Salzburg, that's it. I knew it was somewhere foreign. Was it good? Did you have a nice time over there? Good. I'm glad to see that. Was it snowing? Is Salzburg Switzerland? Austria? I don't know. I was never very good at geography. Anyway, Debs is going to get to have Christmas Day off. We're going to put all the food in. It'll be an help yourself day on Christmas Day. So we're just going to have films. Tons and tons of films. I've got all my boxes of DVDs and everything out. All the Christmas films are nearly ready. I've just got to put them out and get them into a separate box so that we know that what we're going to be watching, because we don't watch much telly on the telly. We watch DVDs over Christmas because that's where all of our good films are. So, Dazzle, chat room is over there. So if you see me turning and looking that way, that's what it is. Chris, I've just seen your comment. We are going to have a great day. So what were you doing in Austria? That's what I want to know, Dazzle. What was you doing? Now, as it's the one before Christmas, I've got a coloured drink. So this is my concession to being near Christmas. Ah, lovely. Oh, I'll tell you something else. What happened to us today? While will I play Twister on the big day? If I played Twister, once I'd be on the floor, I would never be able to get back up. I haven't played Twister since I was about 24, 25, and I got into all sorts of fun over that. Ah, Deb. It's horrible when they work Christmas Day. My oldest son works Christmas Day, so we won't see him. I say we won't see him. I haven't seen either of my two boys since 2009 on Christmas Day. That was the last time I saw them. So, oh, wow. That must have been good, Dazzle. Did you get plenty of film on that? Hello, Jamie Rock and Soul. How is Blackpool at the moment? I see you've got your Father Christmas gear on ready. Yeah, so I forgot where I am. I've done that same old thing what I do every week, you know. I've gone off like that and forgotten where I was. Yeah, Twister. No. We're not doing that. It's a very interesting thought, me playing Twister. I haven't been fit enough or lithe enough to do that for years. See, Chris, I don't blame you. You've never played Twister at all. It's a lot harder than you think. So where was I? Kids don't care what day it is anyway. That's very true. Very true. I had some great Christmases. Shall I show you what I got for Christmas on my 7th birthday? This was one of the things I got for my 7th birthday. I know I've got it in here somewhere. I say that, I tell you that. Now, you know I talk about I love my music. You're probably going to see this back. There you go. It was Radio Luxembourg Record Stars book number 5 with lots of things. The Ivy League, Cilla Black. See, I love music even then. Always loved music. I was 7 when I got that. Yeah, I don't see my boys on Christmas Day. I'm afraid I haven't seen them for absolutely yonks. But that's the trouble when they grow old, isn't it? They all got their own thing. My youngest son tells me, right? My youngest son tells me he bought a new house this year, and he's been decorating it all through the course of the year. And I haven't visited him yet. And I said, "What are you up to Christmas?" He said, "We're decorating your room, Dad." I said, "What do you mean you're decorating my room?" He said, "Well, when you come and stop, you'll be having the second bedroom, and we haven't had time to do that yet. So we're doing that over the Christmas holiday." So it seems like I may be getting an invitation at some time soon with a bit of luck. So, James Chavez, hello, how are you? I didn't see you come into the room. You sneaked in here quite quietly, didn't you? So, yeah, that's a kind of stuff. I wrote all this stuff out, and it's taken me 13 minutes to go through it. So, yeah, I'm going to run out of things to talk. What are you doing? What was your favourite Christmas present? If you're watching this on the replay, do it down below. And if you're on that side, what I want to know is, what is the best Christmas present you've ever had? I will tell you what mine was. For starters, I was about 7, 8, and there was this thing out called the Johnny 7 One-Man Army, and it was, at the time, it was nigh on as big as me, you know. It was massive, and it was a great big gun, and it shot torpedoes off the tops, it had hand grenades, it had bullets you could shoot things with. It was absolutely brilliant. Best toy ever. Played for it for ages. And then when my cousin used to come, he had one as well. And so we'd be able to go and play and shoot each other with these things. It was fantastic. I did have one Christmas. Just remember this. They all went out for a walk. We had family stopping with us at Burnham-on-Sea in our house. And we had family here, and they all went out. And me and my cousin Henry stopped in the house, and we started playing football in the living room because we had quite a long living room. And my mum had a rubber plant, you know, like, and we're kicking the ball about, and I kicked the ball and knocked my mum's rubber plant over and cracked it. So it was like that. And I thought, what are we going to do? They're going to go mad. She's going to kill me. So I went, I know what I'll do. And we got some sellotape, and my cousin held it all together, and I sellotaped it all the way up so it was standing there. And I put it and moved the plant across the front of it so you couldn't see the sellotape. Well, all was good until about 8 o'clock that night. It lasted till about 8, and everyone's sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden it starts to go, and it went like that. Oh, my mum went absolutely nuts. I can remember it even now. So let me have a look. See what you've said. Tin Can Alley. What was that then, Jamie? You'll have to tell me more about that. Is that like a game of some sort? Are we watching Ollie in the Ivy? I don't have that, I'm afraid. Small black and white TV for the bedroom back in 1977. Tammy, we didn't... You say about black and white, Tammy, until 1976, I think it was, we didn't even have a colour telly. My dad wouldn't buy one. He said, while this one's working, we're not changing it. So for years, everybody I knew had a colour telly, and we had a black and white one. So you were doing as well as we were at that time. Steve, I take it you're talking about the Johnny 7 one-man army? A black mongoose race bike. Do you know I only ever had one bike? And I bought it when we were on the seafront at Burnham. My mum and dad used to have an arcade, big long arcade on the seafront. And I remember buying my first bike. I wanted a bike. My mum and dad didn't want me to have one. And I bought one for 50p, a second-hand bike off of someone. And it was like one of them old butcher's bikes with the big round handlebars. They had a little basket on the front. And that was my bike, the only one that I ever had. I never had a bike after that. A Philips cassette player, Chris. Is that the first one that came in the little leather case? Because I can remember in about 1967, someone come into our arcade with this little tape deck thing called a cassette. And I was intrigued by it. It came in a leather case, and it had a little thing so you could put it over your shoulder and carry it about with you. And my dad bought one. And this cassette thing that they had, I was entranced by it and wondered, because we still had a reel-to-reel tape recorder, and I was entranced by what would happen when it got to the end, what was going to happen when the tape ran off the reel, how would you get it all back together again? And I could always remember the very first cassette tape I ever heard was in this one that this guy brought to us, and it was Esther and Abby Afarim's Cinderella Rockefeller album. Don't know why I should remember that, but that was the first cassette I ever thought. I thought that was great. It was absolutely magnificent. I was little leather, and it was a hard leather case, wasn't it? If I can remember, you used to clip it. It was all you could do to get the thing to click together, and you used to go left and right for fast forward, up, down. How do I remember that? I was 7. That was when that was. An 8-track. Do you know I never actually had an 8-track player? My brother-in-law had an 8-track player, and he had one at home. He had one in the car and he had one at home. And I'll always remember it. He had this bunch of 8-track tapes, and he had one which was Lefty Frizzle's Greatest Hits, a country one with it was like full of 50s country and western songs on it. And I'll always remember this one song on it. He used to go around my brother-in-law singing this song, and it went something, I'm not going to sing, but I'll tell you the words. The words were, "I love you, I'll prove it in Daddy's new car." And when I heard that, I would have been about 13, maybe 14 at the time, and thinking, that don't sound right. That doesn't sound right to me. That can't be the words. And I'd say to my brother-in-law, "Sing it again, Bill. What is it?" And he'd go, "I love you, I'll prove it in Daddy's new car." And I went, "It can't be that. Let me hear it. Let me hear it." And so he got this 8-track out, clonked it through the different channels. There was 4 on it, and he played this record. And the song, and I went to him, "I knew you was wrong, because the words were, 'I love you, I'll prove it in days to come.'" Nothing like his title, but it was still funny to hear it. Yeah, 8-tracks, they were great. He has to have loads of them. My brother-in-law was old before his time. He'd play, he had a Frank Sinatra 8-track tape. I can always remember the Summer Wind, that one. I don't know. It's really funny, you know. I never had an 8-track player, but there was a stage when I had a box of 8-track tapes. I don't know how I got them. I don't know where they come from, but I had a box of 8-track tapes. They were all pretty good as well, although I never heard them because I never had an 8-track player. What I did with one of them, I broke it out of the box that it was in because I had an 8-track 4-channel reel-to-reel tape, and I put it on one of them little 3-inch reels and played it that way. And it was one track to each channel, so I could play it. If you only played one track at a time, you could play the 8-track tape on a reel-to-reel, and that was the only time I have heard one of the reel-to-reel tapes. I do remember though, the downfall with the 8-track tapes was that sometimes that horrible click as it changed channels would be halfway through a record. So he'd be halfway through a song, just getting into it, and you go clunk, and then it would come to the next one. Jonathan Brewer, shoebox audio cassette player. I don't know what that is. However, does anyone remember the mini disc? Because if you remember the mini disc, I have a shoebox full of mini discs. So if you can see that. And funnily enough, these mini discs, we've been having fun with these this week because Niall found a mini disc player in the garage, a little mini disc portable one. I've got a proper one here, and he's been playing it, and we've been going through all the mini discs this week. It's been really fun. Stuff that we recorded on them, that were great. Right, let me come back in here and just see what you're chatting about in there. My dad had an 8-track player in his Jeep. Loads. I can remember loads of people having the 8-tracks. They were big old clumpy things, weren't they, though? Little 8-track player in it. Roger Whittaker, eh? The Last Farewell. I heard Roger Whittaker on the radio this morning, funnily enough. Oh, Tammy, your 8-tracks died. You can get another one. They're still about. I've seen them on eBay. So have I got all of your Christmas presents and ideas there? If you're watching this on the replay, don't forget, the question is, what was your favourite Christmas present? I need you to comment on that down below. So what about Christmas telly? We were talking about Christmas telly this morning because now it's pretty abysmal, if the truth be told. But for me, when I was growing up, you always knew it was near Christmas when on one of the mornings before Christmas, you put the telly on and you would hear, or rather you would see, the film Geordie starring Bill Travers. It was about this, I don't know if he was a farmer or a shepherd or something, but he was a strong fella, and he ended up going to the Olympics and winning the Olympics. It's one of those little rah-rah films, but it was good for kids. We loved it. Oh, you meant mini disc player, Tammy? I've got mine here. I've had mine sitting here to my left. You can't see it, but where my hand is, just there, I've got a mini disc player. And do you know what? I thought it had broken because I haven't been able to play it for months. And when Niall come in with this mini disc player that he's found, he's got, I said about my one, and I went, I'll have to try and get it going. And I found out that at some stage 4 years ago, I actually unplugged it. And for 4 years, I thought it was broken, but no, it's just unplugged. So I plugged it back in, and I've been playing these. Steve, the Christmas telly is so poor these days. I can remember as a kid. Now, I know I'm getting on a bit. I'm 65. But I can remember Christmas Day telly was brilliant. Who remembers the circus on in the afternoon? Circuses were great. Mario Lanza fan. My mum had a 78 of Mario Lanza's, and it was called The Loveliest Night of the Year. It was on HMV Records, and it was a little 78. And I had it for years. I don't know whatever ended up happening to it. Probably somebody sat on it or something and broke it. And Debs was telling me a story about Mario Lanza. This one's for you, Jonathan. About when she was about 18, she used to be a nanny. And she worked for a couple in West London. And the couple that they worked for, Maria Lanza, was either the wife or the husband's cousin. And they managed to get her. I don't know if it was one that they had or something, but she got an autograph of Maria Lanza for her mum from this couple that she worked for. How about that? Vicar of Dibley Christmas special. I've got the complete box set of Vicar of Dibley, and they're all still brilliant. So what are you going to watch? What are you thinking of watching for Christmas? I know what we've got. We are going to do our normal thing. Father Ted. I love Father Ted. Go on. And making the tea, that was brilliant. Loved all that. Yeah, we're going to be watching what we normally do in this house is we love all of the musicals from way back when, the classic ones. And we'll be watching a lot of them. We'll be the top 100 hits of the year. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm diverting because I'm reading what Deb's writing over. Yeah, top 100 hits of the year. Do you know what? There's a channel that I listen to on the radio called Boom, and they're doing another countdown over this week. Jamie, no, please. Yeah, we've got It's a Wonderful Life. We've got Scrooge. We watch either Holiday Inn one year or White Christmas the next, because they're pretty much the same kind of film. But we love all that sort of things. Fighting over which channel. You fought over the channels, Chris. In my home, when I was a kid, there was only one person chose the telly, and that was my dad. And my whole input into the telly over Christmas was that I was the remote control. Dad used to go, BBC One, get up, turn it over to BBC One. I was the remote control for so many years for my family. I really could. It's a shame that it didn't carry on longer, because by the time my kids was there, we had remote controls ourselves. I love Holiday Inn. I think it's a great film. I thought you'd like that story, Jonathan. Yeah, so we do a lot of musicals at this time of year. I don't know why. It's just a thing that we do. So we'll be probably watching. There's a good chance of South Pacific. There's a good chance that we'll do West Side Story. There's a good chance that we will do. I'm trying to think now. King and I, My Fair Lady. We like all of them sorts of films. We like. Love Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is a general one that we kind of watch. We never used to watch Jim Will Fix It much. I've got to be honest, Jamie. My dad wasn't keen on that. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. What a great film. I've got that on DVD as well. I love it when they're chopping. Yeah, I love all of those old musicals. they're like one of them things that we love to do. And I love a Fred Astaire film. I love to see a bit of all that kind of stuff. I don't know about Tammy, you live in America, and I don't know about what it's like there, but here nowadays, unless you're watching BBC, a lot of the films that come on have got adverts in them, and it drives me nuts. I always liked it, to be honest, when you see the whole film in one shot, which is why I kind of have got all the DVDs. Hello, Dale. How are you? How's things down there in Sussex? Are you all ready yet? I was telling those who've just come in, Trains and Planes and Automobiles is on telly tomorrow night, Jamie, just in case you didn't know. Hi, Rev. How are you? Yeah, so Christmas is it's a time when, for me, I get very nostalgic. Debs is the same. And we kind of like to see a lot of the films that we used to watch when we were kids. I set up a channel on Facebook a while back. And we used to have this thing on there. We had a group called the Sunday Afternoon Film Club. And all of the films that we watched for a long time were films that were from that kind of era. I noticed that I was looking through something. I don't go on use Facebook much, but I use it for memories now, because all of my memories come up every day. If you've got Facebook, you'll know. And I was looking at it today, and today, 8 years ago, we were watching Broadway Melody of 1940, which was Fred Astaire and Eleanor Powell, I think it was. And she was my favourite dancer with Fred Astaire, so we had that one. Hi, Dino, how are you? Dino, I know I call it wrong, whatever it is. You know who I'm talking to. How are you? I want to know, do you sit and sing through the films? The one what we watch a lot at Christmas is Calamity Jane. Debs has always watched it because she loved it. Dino, got it. That's what I said. I'm chuffed because I said the right one first. Yeah, we watch Calamity Jane, and generally, Debs knows Calamity Jane from the first word to the last word. So it's like I hear it in stereo because I hear it from the telly there and from Debs there, and so I get this other version of it. Am I a fan of A Christmas Story? Which one? There's a load of them. I noticed on the telly tomorrow. There's is it the Deadwood stage? You know that, Chris. It definitely is. Christmas. There's the greatest. Is it the greatest story ever told? That's on telly tomorrow. Blues Brothers is excellent. Love Blues Brothers. Got that on DVD too. Near enough all of our telly watching over Christmas is on via DVD or Blu-ray these days. I've got so many of these old films. I don't know about you, but I've kind of gone away from watching normal telly. We'll probably watch The King's Speech, which is something we all do. What are you doing on Christmas Day? Tell me, what are your plans? Because are you the same as us? I mean, we're doing it different this year because we're actually having all day as our Christmas Day. Debs is not going to be cooking. The Red Ryder BB gun. I've not seen that. I'm talking to lots of you at once. I know. I'm 8-Bit Christmas. You were telling me about that, Dale, a while back, weren't you? Right. I'm just sorry about this. I'm reading over there because I can't read it here. It's too small for me. Was television better back then? I was looking at something today from my memories off of Facebook, because I check my memories every day because I'm saving them and putting them and taking them off Facebook so that when I've gone a year's worth of memories, I can leave Facebook then. But there was a thing on there today I was looking at which showed the television for today in 1975, I think it was, at BBC, BBC One, and ITV, because that's all we had back in 1975. And it was still brilliant, you know. There was still loads and loads to watch that seemed more than there is now. It's really weird. The more television channels we have now, the less we seem to be able to find. Do you find that as well? Bottom. Oh, Bottom was special, wasn't it? I'll have to have a look at that, Rev. No, I don't know that one at all. We've got a couple of versions of Miracle on 34th Street. We've got a black and white one and a colour one. I would suggest that the one that you're talking about, 1994, would be the colour one. Hi, Shadow. Nice to see you in the room. Really? Hitchcock films at Christmas. I taped the other night. I've never had it on a DVD, and it's not Hitchcock. I know that. I'm talking about what type? Psycho. Taped Psycho the other night because I've never seen it. Do you know that? Never seen Psycho, so we taped it the other night, so we're going to watch that at some stage. Die Hard. Do you think of Die Hard as a Christmas film, Dale? I love this, you know. I love to see all the different choices that people come up with as what their Christmas films are. North by Northwest is a great one. I've got that on DVD. It seems like when we talk about everything, I've got that on DVD. I'm a huge DVD collector. Okay, fair enough. It's a Wonderful Life, brilliant film. I went to see Gremlins in the pictures when it came out that year. Oh, Deb, Anna Green Gables. I didn't think I'd like that. Debs was telling me about it when we first started seeing each other years ago. She said to me about Anna Green Gables, and I didn't really know it. I went on Amazon here and bought the TV series of Anne of Green Gables with Martin Sheen was in it. And it was brilliant. Really, really good. And I ended up buying another one called Anne of Avonlea. That was good as well. And then there was another one as well that Debs had, which was also Anna Green Gables, but an older version. Oh, Rev, I haven't got any. I've got about the only VHS films I've got left now are the ones of my kids that I took years and years ago. Haven't got any of them left. Home Alone 1 and 2, absolutely. Look at these great choice of films. If I didn't, I'll tell you what, if I only watched the films that you're talking about on here now, then I reckon, you know, I didn't need to get any other DVDs out. I don't know who Megan Follows is. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch my Psycho. I taped it the other day. I've never seen it. I'll tell you another one. I've seen it, but I don't kind of remember watching it. It was The Birds. That was supposedly good. Muppets, of course, are brilliant. Tammy, I still have a VHS player here. Hang on. If I spin this round, there's a VHS player there, a DVD player there, and down there is a mini disc player, and below that is a cassette as well. So I've still got all my bits and pieces. I just never get around to using them is the problem these days. As you can see, there's a rather large amount of dust on the VHS player. Where are we? Where are we? So, Rev, when you bought your new video recorder, did you know it worked all already? Or did you buy it on an off chance? Because I've always wondered about buying older stuff because I'm in the market for another reel-to-reel tape recorder because mine died. And I want to get a new reel-to-reel tape recorder. And the problem is they're so expensive. And so it's one of them things that I've never bought again. I had my last reel-to-reel tape recorder for 30 odd years. I do have one down here below me, which is good. It's one that's got a radio speaker built into it, but the other tape reel-to-reel used to go through my mixer, so it would come out of everything. Radio 3, do you know what, Jonathan? I never listen to Radio 3. I don't listen to much radio at all, if the truth be known. I listen to Boom Radio in the morning when I get up. I get up around 5:30 every morning, and I make a cup of tea, and we go back to bed for an hour or so we don't have to get straight up when we normally wake up. So we listen to Boom Radio Monday to Friday, and then I listen to Boom Light, which is my mum and dad's music on the weekends as a little chill down. eBay seller listing tested and working great. Oh, that's good. I'm always worried about with VHS because, like I said just now, I've got loads of my videos of my kids that I want to turn over and get them recorded. But I'm worried about putting them in a video now in case they get damaged. But I shouldn't worry about it because I can't see them as they are now because they've been sat in there for, I don't know, 10 years, maybe longer. I really need to get round to doing them all. But once again, this is one of the problems I have at the moment with my PC, which is why he had no video this week. It started throwing out when I start editing. And the reason for that is that all the upgrades of all the editing programs are taking up more memory out of the computer. And my memory just isn't enough. So I've got to definitely do something about that in the new year and get some new memory put in it. Do you know what, Dale? I have a VCR and DVD combination in that cupboard over the back there, down the bottom. I have had it for years, and it you used to put a VHS in it, and you recorded it onto a hard drive built into it, and then you copied it over and made it into a CD. And I've had it ever since I've been here, and it's not been used since 2009 when I moved up here. But it's still there. I don't know if it still works, to be honest with you. Sullivan Entertainment Channel. We don't get that over here, I'm afraid. I would imagine that the version that I was talking about, Deb, was done in about 1985. I can't be sure of it, but it's certainly an old one. An Amstrad combi. Do you remember when Amstrad was out? And I can remember everybody buying Amstrad because you could push a little filter button on it. It would cut the scratches out on the records, supposedly. But what it always did, it always took out every bit of treble out of it, and it was just like listening to it with a sponge in your ears. I love this. This is great. I love all these little comments I'm seeing here. You guys make them Monday night. Do you know that? I'll tell you what we did one year. As you know, I come from a fairground family. And back in the day, right? Back in the day, we used to live in caravans, trailers, I call them. in a yard in the winter with a communal yard. We all had our own positions in there. And I can remember one Christmas, I hadn't been married very long, and I had this little telly, and it had a remote control. And about 5 doors down from me, my wife's uncle had a telly the same as mine. And over Christmas, I got it into my head to walk down one night when him and his wife were watching the telly and use my remote control to put it over through their windows and change their telly channel. It was such fun. And the first time I did it right, I walked up, creeped up there, and I could lift high enough to get my hand over and over into their window, and I clicked on their window and turned the telly over. And I could hear them mumbling inside, going, "What? What's going on? What's going on?" So I can remember my wife's Uncle George getting up and clicking the telly back and putting it on the proper channel. So I give it a couple of minutes, went clunk and turned it over again. And I did this about 5 or 6 times, and there was wars going on. And his wife, Aunt Emily, was going to, "What are you doing with that telly? Why can't you keep it on the same side? Why do you keep changing it over?" I think I caused a row in there, you know. And I went round the next day and told them what I'd done. They saw the funny side of it after a while, but it was such fun, such a torment. There are times, I've not always been as nice as I could be. Tried to watch Christmas Story from 1983. I'll have a hunt and see if I can find that, Rev. Do I have Fairground, the Simply Red song? Absolutely, I do, yes. Tammy, you spent Christmas in a caravan in 1983. So did I. I had exactly the same thing. The biggest problem I've got, I'm not sure I've got any VHS tapes left anymore, Dale. I have to go in my garage, because that's where it would be if I still had it. I'm not going to try it with my kids' films. What I might have to do is just, pair it on. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Yeah, I could go. I know exactly where it is. If I open that door, it's down there on the bottom. Where my fan is, in that cover there is. Atlas Earth is live in the UK now. No, that's another new one to me. I am gonna scribble this down and have a look for it. Do I have any albums by Chris Rea, who sadly passed away today? Yeah, I do. My favourite one, I can never remember the name of it, but it's the Benny Santini one. That's a really great album. And the other one, of course, that I play the most is New Light from Old Windows, when he re-recorded his old hits, and there were some newer ones on there. And of course, that Marvelous on the Beach was on that. That's probably the one I play the most, but the Benny Santini one was a really good album. Yeah, Chris, I saw him on that fishing thing, but he's been ill for years. He had pancreatic cancer. He had problem with his liver, his kidneys, all sorts of stuff. He's been ill for a long time, Chris Rea has. And the service going on your phone. Oh, someone pays you real money. That sounds like a plan, I have to say. But yeah, I really did like Chris Rea. I'll get it out and plug it in, Dale, and have a look. I think give me something to do over them days. You know, like those days, the longest week of the year, those 2 days in between Christmas and the New Year. Yeah, I've got one that in the cupboard, and like I said, I haven't played it for yonks. It'll be March 2024. Mind you, I have to say, I've never been one for playing games on phones, and not games in particular, mainly because we had an arcade full of video games back in the day. Talk amongst yourself. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. You're way in front of me, chatting away. I try. This is what happens. I start talking. I get something in my mind. I look that way, read something over there, digest that, and completely forget where I've been talking about for the rest of it. I know it's backwards. I know it's backwards. This live streaming made easy book. I bought it the other day because I like live streaming. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'd like to be able to do it better and provide a better thing. I was trying to do live streams with a program called OBS, but as you all know now, my computer isn't man enough for anything at the minute, and also my internet is pretty poor. So I'm planning update of memory for my computer, and I'm gonna get what's it called? You know, fiber broadband, that stuff, the speedy stuff, because what I'm getting at the minute is absolutely awful. So I'm hoping that the beginning of 2026 is going to be a big old upgrade. I'll be able to use better streaming stuff instead of just my phone, and move this on a bit and try and be better at live streaming. Lived in the arcades in the 80s and 90s. Guess what? So did I. Yeah, we had the first video game we ever had was back in 1977, and it was a game called Ping Pong on a black and white monitor, and it was like two little bats, and it was like playing tennis. And it was popular at the time, even though there was nothing to it. But it was the first. I think that was the first video game we ever had. And then, of course, we had Space Invaders, which was black and white screen again. But we had Pong. We had Space Invaders, but the one that we had, we didn't have a color version of it. It was on a monitor, and we had little strips, 4 little different colored strips of plastic over it, like see-through sellotape, and that made the color up on Space Invaders game when that first came out. Yeah, Pong, that was it, Dale. We had that when it first came out, 1977. Same year as Donna Summer did I Feel Love. Don't know why those two are in my memory, but they are. So, one more thing. What are you playing? Asteroids, yep, had that. Pac-Man, Centipede, Missile Command. We didn't have Missile Command, but we certainly had Asteroids. Can remember shooting all them little things and breaking them up and them flying off the screen. The only game that wasn't a success in our arcade. Was your Space Invaders black and white as well? I know, Deb. I know you had an arcade because you told me. I remember you saying about it. We had the only game that we had in our arcade, a video game that didn't do any good at all, was Tetris. And my wife kindly informed me the only reason it couldn't take any money was because I spent all day playing on it. So we had to ban me from the arcade from playing Tetris in our own arcade at the time. These old memories lurk. This is what this channel's about, really, isn't it? I know I talk about the life lessons that I've had, but they're all from the past. The music I play is from the past. I think it must be that I'm getting old, you know. However, I think there's a lot of value in all of this. My next door neighbour works for a company, as an aside while I think of it. My next door neighbour works for a company that makes video games. You know, like the video cabinets of old, but little small ones that sit on the table. And in the games, they've got a PC board, and it's like 1,500 quid. That sorry, 1,500 games that you can play on the little cabinet, and it's all the old games from the way back when. Keep it retro. I don't blame you. I absolutely agree with that. We all, yeah. Do you know what? I think that we of our age group and those that were behind us were very lucky to have all of those things, the videos in the arcades and all that stuff, because now everybody plays them at home. And it's become, even though you can play against anybody anywhere in the world, I don't think it's as good as when you're in an arcade playing on a game and all your mates are around, aren't you? And they're all trying to beat each other's scores. I think it was much more social back in the day when we had when we had arcades and the videos were out. There was always people in there playing, and I don't think that that's the same anymore. I know definitely arcades aren't the same as then. Sega and Mega Drive, God, they're all good. All these games are really good, but I kind of think that you miss out. You miss out on those days when you went as a group and played on them. Do you know what I mean? It just seemed more fun at the time. And I know for me, I mean, it's different for me because we had an arcade, and so I saw the games all the day. I didn't really play them a lot. I mean, we had the driving games. Do you know, like the sit down driving games, like hard driving and things like that. We had Gauntlet, Double Dragon, all those sorts of things. The videos died a death in the UK in arcades. Absolutely. When all of these other games came home on the home PC, it was always going to happen. It was never going to be the same after that. But I kind of think that there's that missing. It's you know what I'm trying to say? It's like when you used to go to a record shop and it was a social thing because all your mates would go and you'd be pulling through records and so you'd pull this out and go, oh, this is good, I've got that. And then someone go, no, this is better than that. Do you know what I mean? It seems everything seemed more social than it is now. I know we can play games. I've said it just now. I know we can play games against someone across the other side of the world, but I still don't think it's the same as having your mates. So I did see something out the corner of my eye. Yeah, taking the mickey out of your mates who were rubbish. Absolutely. Yes, James. Absolutely. There's something that I think has gone missing, and it's a sad indictment. I think that of the times have changed. That I suppose I'm no different to what my mum and dad was. They probably said that the world wasn't as good when I was young as when they were young. I think it's probably a generational thing, and we all think exactly the same, you know. But I do kind of think that the days when you were all in one room and you were all playing it were such great fun. I had a jukebox. I had it in a pub. It wasn't I used to rent machines out after we came out of the arcades and that. I used to have machines in pubs and clubs all along the coast, and I only ever had one jukebox, and I had it in a pub. And do you know what? When I lost everything, I lost the jukebox too. So I've never had another one, but I've always wanted a jukebox. But I'd like one of the really old ones. So anyway, guess what? We've come to an hour. That hour has gone so quickly. And at an hour, we generally wrap this up, and I'll go and see my wife and see what she's up to downstairs while the telly's on. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support this year. It's been absolutely brilliant. Christmas is around the corner. Whatever you're doing over the next 3-4 days, have an absolutely brilliant time. I hope you get everything that you wanted. I hope you have a ball. If you're having family around, make the most of it, because I don't half miss the fact that I haven't got family around anymore. Just have an absolutely great time on you. I'll be back next week. We'll do this again on Monday. And hopefully after that, I'll get some new memory in this PC, and we'll be back to making videos again and getting everything back going as it was. It's been brilliant once again. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I enjoy all this, you know this. And let's make them better in the next year, eh? Thank you so much. Enjoy yourselves for the rest of the Christmas, and I will see you very, very soon. Thanks a lot. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Ta-da now.